The H1B Guy here, and today, the H1B Guy 101. How do you verify an EAD, Employment Authorization Document holder, has valid work authorization? But before we get started, I'd like to ask you, if you haven't already, to please subscribe to the H1B Guy channel here on YouTube. It helps me to produce more content like this for you. I also wanted to mention that the H1B Guy offers consulting services, including one-on-one and one-to-many around work authorization, any sort of document evidence, and compliance review and audits. If I can help you, I'd love to hear how. One of the services that the H1B Guy offers is work authorization, education, and training. I can customize any session based on your organization's needs. Throughout my career, I've been the go-to guy when it comes to verifying if a work authorization can be a direct W-2 employee or not. The H1B Guy 101 is going to be an ongoing series to help recruiting-based education for employees and employers alike on various types of work authorization, verification, and onboarding process. The most common question that I've received over the years is this: can an EAD work on our W-2? That answer is yes, but it does come with some caveats. There are several common types of EADs that recruiters will typically come across while sourcing for open jobs. We're going to highlight the most common below and how to verify the EAD holder has the appropriate work authorization. First, they must have received their EAD card in hand before they can begin working. You are within your rights to ask for a copy of the EAD card. A picture of the front of the card is completely sufficient. First, you'll want to verify the valid from and card expires dates. This is the term of the validity for the work authorization period for the EAD holder. Next, you'll want to verify the category. This will help you to verify if the employee will be working under an OPT or an OPT STEM EAD. This determination is very important, as the employee working under an OPT or OPT STEM EAD will require additional sponsorship past the validity date of their EAD. We'll talk about more on this in a bit. Once you've received a copy of the EAD card, you'll want to click the link in the description below, and it'll bring you to this page where you can verify the employment authorization document category with their description. You'll select the drop down here under the Form I-765 category, and as you can see, it starts with A and will go all the way through C. The category types are here, and then the descriptions are in the column next to it. We'll cover some of the more common types and the categories associated with that later on in the post. So we're going to start with the H4 EAD, as it is one that's fairly common for recruiters and employers alike. The H4 EAD is category C26, and it is the spouse of an H1B visa holder or an unmarried minor under 21. H1B holders have an approved I-140, and their dependent can then file an I-765, granting them work authorization with no restrictions. The validity period typically coincides with the spouse's H1B expiration. The L2 EAD, and that's category A18, is the spouse of an L1 visa holder or an unmarried minor under 21. Valid for up to 7 years for L1A and 5 years for L1B holders, the L2 EAD is valid in 2-year increments for as long as the L1 holder's time is valid. And they can work without any work authorization restrictions. Optional practical training, OPT EAD. So there's two types here. There's the pre-completion, which is category C03A, and the post-completion, which is category C03B. You will primarily see post-completion OPT, and they are valid for an initial 12 months. The OPT EAD STEM, which is category C03C, is a degree earned in science, technology, engineering, and math and may apply for a 24 months extension to their post-completion OPT. The one thing that is to be noted about OPT EADs and OPT EAD STEMs is that upon their expiration, the 12 to 36 months, they do require sponsorship. The GC EAD. Individuals, this is issued to individuals with an adjustment of status pending. If employment-based, must work for the employer for 180 days before they are able to work on another organization's W-2. So there is a little key there that once the adjustment of status is pending for EAD, GC EAD holders, they have a 180-day commitment to the employer. Before then, they can work without restrictions. Other types of EADs that are common that you might run across are the EAD refugee, which is category A3, the EAD paroled refugee, category A4, the EAD asylee, category A5, the EAD fiancé K1, K2, which is category A6, the EAD TPS, temporary protected status granted, which is category A12, the J2 EAD, category C5, and the EAD TPS with temporary treatment status, which is category C19. You will come across other types of EADs, but the ones that we've mentioned here today with their categories are the most common that you will see. There are two key takeaways here for this video and this post today in validating the EAD that I'd like to leave you with. One, must have a valid EAD card in hand. A paper approval or USCIS website approval is not sufficient to begin work. Validating the possession of a valid EAD and verifying the category will save you time and money. The second key takeaway, OPT and OPT STEM EADs require sponsorship. There are two primary avenues for extending OPT and OPT STEM work authorization. They are in the form of the H1B visa via the HCAP lottery and employment-based green card sponsorship. I hope you all enjoyed this type of content. Look for more H1B Guy 101 in the future. Let me know if there is one in particular that you'd like to see me cover in a future post. I'd love to hear from you. For the full post on verifying an EAD, it has valid work authorization, check out the H1BGuy.com. And if you haven't already, I'd like to ask you to please like this video, please subscribe to the H1B Guy channel here on YouTube, and select all notifications so that you're notified anytime the H1B Guy posts go up. The H1B Guy, your global source for all things H1B.